What's this spring been like for you? Obviously, you've been ramping it up here the last couple weeks. It feel a little more normal at this point, just getting out there and leading the team.
Yeah, I think it just feels good to be back. Back in the full swing of things, and makes you appreciate a little more when you guys sit on the sideline and watch, and so it just feels good to be back with everybody and be taking a bunch of reps now and just trying to get back to where I was and all that.
Were you kind of chomping at the bit? It's not a view you've had to experience a lot from the sideline, like you said. Is that something itching to get back out there, or is it?
Yeah,
like you said, it's good for you maybe to kind of have that.
I wouldn't say it's like good for me, but it makes you appreciate it. I think that's why you play. You want to play, and I think I'm not the only one that wants to play. So I'm sure there's a lot of other people on our team that are itching to play, and everybody's competitive, and so yeah, I'm happy to be back playing.
Jake, is the rehab schedule kind of progressing the way you thought it would? Are you kind of behind, in front of where you thought that schedule would be?
No, it's going exactly how it's supposed to go. I was supposed to be just barely throwing at the beginning of spring ball, and by the end be going full go, which is where I'm at, and it feels good. Feels exactly how it's supposed to, and it's been going exactly how it's supposed to. Our training staff does a good job. Coach Pete, Coach Smith. They've been on top of it. I've been on top of it, and it's been going how it's supposed to go. Probably could have gone even a little bit sooner, but you want to take those things slow and not rush it.
You look back on last year, just kind of maybe reflecting on the end of the season. How difficult really was it to play with that?
I'm going to treat that just like I treat the rest of the question about the last season. I think it's the last season. I'm not going to talk about last season stats, last season wins. I'm not going to talk about any injury and all that. We're on to the next year, and that's this year, and that's what I'm trying to get better right now.
Okay, what's the next step then in your game in 2017? What kind of step do you want to make as a player?
I think there's a couple different things, but I think the main thing right now is I'm pain-free throwing, but I still got to get my strength back and all that. It's like a guy that runs sprints. You can't take 3 months off from running sprints and just get right back into running without having to work through some kinks and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and just getting my body used to high volume of throws. And but like I said, it's going how it's supposed to. Happy to be back out there. It sucks watching, and I'm pretty happy with where it's at.
Is there value watching from behind the lines, seeing the other quarterbacks do their job?
Yeah, I think you can kind of reflect on some different stuff, but I watched. We have end zone tape, so it's kind of the same thing. But I think there's some little things you notice here and there, but I wasn't happy just sitting back there. So I don't know. You try and help out a little bit and coach it up, and I know like when I'm playing. I know Tony Rodriguez is a guy that's like, okay, come to the sideline, he's like, hey, this look, blah, 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 and he's on top of it. So try to be that guy a little bit to him or to KJ or something. But, I think there's some stuff, but you'd rather be out there playing.
You lost John Ross, but you have a lot of people back. How do you see this group evolving at pass receiver?
You mean just receivers?
Just the group you have coming back. How have they evolved and matured? Yeah.
I think there's just a standard kind of establishment of how you're supposed to work and how you need to improve. For me, that's true for me too. There's a lot of things I need to work on. There's a lot of things everybody needs to work on. And if you feel like there's not stuff you need to work on, you're not watching enough film of yourself and critiquing yourself hard enough. So I think that's kind of just the standard around here. Everybody's going to work hard. Not take a practice for granted, not take a day for granted, and just try and get better.
Jake, I know you talked about not looking back at last year, so forgive me here for a second, but just being in the Alabama game and playing a defense like that, how much can that help you as a player down the road, being exposed to that kind of talent?
Yeah, I think, obviously really good defense, and, I thought for me that kind of made me want to be more in the weight room and stuff like that. I didn't think like there was anything scheme-wise or mentally that they had on top of me. I just thought, I got out there, they're bigger, stronger, faster than me personally, and so that's something that I kind of want to work on is a little more weight room stuff. And, I think freshman year going into my sophomore year, my freshman season, I had a bunch of mental busts and kind of throwing some of these picks where, they kind of tricked me. So I thought, okay, film is what I need to get better at. And I think, obviously you still have to watch film, but I think 30 minutes of extra time is probably okay. I'm going to go try and do some weight room stuff and try and eat healthier and stuff like that. I know for me personally, seeing like Buddha and all those guys go to the NFL, something that they had to change right away was throw on top of their nutrition a lot more. So that was kind of something I just tried to do because it's something I I never did. I just ate whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So what does the daily menu look like right now for you?
I mean, I don't really have like a daily menu. I just think it's just avoid some certain things and just try and eat healthier a little bit. I'm not gonna say I'm great at it, but I mean I'm trying. It's like on my mind a little bit more. Before it's just eat whatever, do our lifts, do our running, and then go watch film.
So pizza, donuts, cheeseburgers.
Yeah, probably
like,
not.
They're out.
Yeah,
okay.
probably not.
and you mentioned your freshman year. How much have things slowed down for you, not just on the field, but maybe also off the field on campus, going back to that first year?
What do you mean by slowing down?
As far as change, as far as getting easier, I guess, for you.
I mean, I'm in some hard classes and stuff like that, so I think it gets, the older you get, the harder it gets, and just continue to challenge yourself like you're a true freshman. You wanna get better, and I think the longer you're here, the more it is. Okay, if you want to get that 1% better, it takes that much more effort because you've been here for so long. You just got to fight, like getting into just the routine, and proactively trying to find stuff you need to get better at.
What's the hardest class you got right now?
I'm in a Stats 311 class with a little bit of like computer programming stuff, and that's pretty hard.
Wow. Is this a pretty important summer for you then? You feel like you have some catching up to do? You talked about kind of getting bigger and stronger. I mean, do you feel you have that kind of mapped out for what you want to do?
Yeah, I kind of have like a rough draft of it. I think after spring, I'll probably have a better plan of what it's going to be. But I know, like for me, usually I have to take a class over summer, and I'm ahead in credits, so I don't have to take a class or anything, and no internship or anything. So it's just pretty much football all day.
Are you the guy that kind of gets everyone together over the off season and says, "Hey, let's go work out," or is there somebody else that kind of plays that role too?
I mean, I think everybody wants to. I'm just the guy that says, "Okay, how does this time work for everybody?"
Yeah.
But I don't think it's anything where I'm dragging people out there, and everybody wants to get out there and throw. There's need one person to say, "Okay, here's the time," and that's kind of all I do.
Yeah. How much did last year kind of whet your appetite for even more conference championship, playing for a Final Four, getting a shot at a national championship?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it really changed, how much I want to win games, but I think you get a little taste of it, and then didn't get all the way, but you kind of take a step to that next level, and you get a taste of it. You want some more, I guess, but I still want to win games just as much as before.
Yeah. You think these guys are as hungry, or maybe even hungrier, to do it again this year?
I mean, I think we were hungry last year, hungry again this year, and everybody's just working right now. I don't think it's really right. In spring ball, you don't want to start thinking, okay, here's Rutgers, and you just want, okay, what do you need to work on? And it's kind of like working on yourself, trying to beat our defense, and more just worried about, your own game, much less who your first game is.
Yeah, well, maybe give us a take on that. You got some guys, as you said, that went to the NFL. The secondary, at least on paper, looks different. Does it look different to you when you're throwing against it in practice?
I mean, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. I think Byron Murphy's been doing really well, and Jordan Miller's been doing really well. Taylor Rapp, I think he's coming into his sophomore year, kind of knows what to expect a little bit more. And, JoJo McIntosh played a lot. Zeke Turner played a lot. I mean, we still have some guys that have played, and maybe you haven't seen them on the field as much, but they've gotten a lot of reps, for how long our season was last year. They got a lot of reps. And, I think they're going to be good. I mean, obviously, they have stuff they need to work on, but so does everybody.
Considering everything that John did for you guys offensively last year and just kind of the overall impact he had, do you expect the passing game to look different this year without him?
I think the bigger influence would be, hired Coach Lubick, and, he's brought in some different stuff. But, I mean, obviously, John Ross was a very special player, and, we have to work to replace him and all that. But, I think it's a challenge that a lot of the receivers, I know there's some guys that came in with me that have been going on their third year here, and they're kind of ready to step up and take on a bigger role, and I think they're pretty excited about it.
Are there guys at the receiver core, like you talked about, that maybe we're not talking about yet that we should be talking about?
Well, I don't really read you guys' stuff, so I don't know who you guys talking about.
If you were me, who would you be talking about as far as a breakout year?
I think Quinn Pounds has showed some stuff. Aaron Fuller's a guy that's been had a kind of a supplementary role last year. He's played a bigger role. Andre Bocellia, really good. Obviously, Dante Pettis coming back for senior year. He's going to be really good. I'm trying to think. Ty Jones has showed some promise. He got here the first day of spring ball, and I know it was hard for me the first day of spring ball, and I had a whole quarter to learn all this stuff. So, I think he's going to make a lot of strides. And, we got some young guys coming in. This recruiting class will get here in June, and I think kind of the culture it is. The way it's set up here is, if you're the best player, you're going to play. So I think everybody knows that, and kind of excited for the opportunity.
We saw flashes of Chico McClatcher last year. He's really still learning the nuances of the position. What's the limitations, the expectations for him, do you think?
I mean, I don't know how many limitations the guy has. I think he's a little more X's and O's smart than we give him credit for. Obviously, really fast. I think you guys know that. Really electric with the ball in his hands, and I think every year it's just that little progression to get better. And I think he watches his own game, knows what he wants to improve on, and obviously a guy I like throwing the ball to. So I think he's going to have a big role in the offense. But you don't truly know until we're there. It's only spring ball right now, so everybody's getting reps and everybody's working in, and you kind of, okay, we got the 1-0 line and the two quarterback and throwing receivers, and so everybody's kind of working together, and that's why you really need to work on your own craft right now and kind of get the whole offense going, get a little bit of juice going into the summer, and then get ready for fall camp and Rutgers.